Hi, this is Beverly Boston, and you're listening to my show called EVE-olution, Sassy, Savvy Solutions for Big Thinker Business Breakthroughs. Warning, listener discretion is advised. These ongoing series of shows contain eye-opening business, wealth, and money information. This information is used by enlightened Fortune 500 companies who choose to make a big difference. And this information is intended for big thinking, unconventional, adventurous achievers who are interested in inner and outer growth, personally and professionally. Some will find this high-impact, mind-altering strategies and tips stimulating and refreshing while learning how to finally succeed on your own terms, sorting fact from fiction and giving you new insights of a borderline amazing nature. These shows contain strong, action-oriented, and results-based language and strategies. Just big thinking enough that you'll wonder how you ever managed without it. Possible long-term side effects include giant leaps to personal success and growth, unlimited possibilities in wealth, and becoming the best version of you. No charge for miracles. And the topic today is rejection on Facebook. It's not about you. Now, these are new ideas to drive fresh thinking in your business and improve results on Facebook. This is what I've become known for. Bigger, better, and fresher thinking, which massively improves your business results, whether online or off. Now, I've been in masterminds and mentoring for myself personally and professionally for the last 11 years. I've invested heavily in my learning and studying from the best of the best in every area of business. Whatever I've studied and learned, I would implement it as well as teach and guide others to use it in their business as well. So what I'd like to discuss today is the huge potential of using Facebook, creating engagement and connection to build your business. And what the number one block is that I found people have been around positioning themselves and their business to get more clients, sales, and income. Now, these tips I'm going to share with you today are at the core of my systems, strategies, and tips in the programs that I've created. Not only for my own business, but also for the hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs that I've mentored and guided. For those of you who want more help with this or can't wait to find out more, go to beverlyboston.com and take a look at our comprehensive programs. This has really transformed my business and my life, as well as the people that I serve and mentor and coach. So if you're looking at the success stories and programs that I offer, you're going to see that these people are all around the planet. They've used these tips and strategies from the systems that I've created. Now, keep in mind, these tips appear so simple, and yet they're highly effective. This one strategy that I've taken out of my system with my coaching program will help you get plenty of ideal clients, sales conversations, and opportunities. How I learned about this is I was doing some private consulting and mentoring for a long-term stint with one of the largest coaching companies in North America. And I started to see some really interesting patterns. Now, for those of you who know my story, I started my business 11 years ago and started attracting a ton of new business and clients. And I quickly broke through to a six-figure income in about, say, 6 months after I started this business. Now, I worked with clients globally who were earning anywhere from 5 figures to millions. And I started to notice some patterns in their business, which of course made me take a look at my own business as well. And what I discovered was this conflict that I'm about to share today. It's one of the most costly conflicts that's rarely revealed and rarely talked about, until today, of course. It's one of those conflicts that can cripple any business, whether it's big or small. And the more I became aware of it, the more I realized that the strategies and systems that I was using in my own business could be applied to what other entrepreneurs that I'm mentoring are doing in their businesses. So today I'm going to talk about this conflict using Facebook. However, you can use this strategy in other parts of your business and dramatically improve your results and your bottom line. The more advice and guidance I gave around this, the more phenomenal success my clients would have. Now, this also included my private members in my Enlightened Millionaire Society mastermind group, which I created later on in my business. Remember, we're talking about hundreds and hundreds of examples to study and learn from. This is literally how I created the system. I started noticing patterns and conflicts and blocks that ran across the board with the people that I mentored, from every background and a career imaginable. What happened was that people started asking me what I was doing in my own business to succeed at the level that I am and how it really had started to take off. I would have people call me and say, I heard you work with my colleague. I really like what you're doing for her. Could I work with you to build my client attraction and client fascination in my business, as well as using it on Facebook? Then I started getting calls from colleagues and other people in my field wanting to know how and what I was doing to achieve the success that I'm having, and could they work with me as well? They saw that I was attracting these great opportunities, living a better lifestyle, and creating better balance in my life and business. And they said, "What the heck is going on with you?" And I told them I'd taken the patterns that I saw in the people that I was mentoring, where they were leaving money and opportunities on the table, and I plugged up the holes in their businesses, such as using Facebook and offline things that were going on in their business. And I did the same in my own business. And they said, "You know what? No one else is doing this the way that you are, having the kind of results that you get." And I said, "Yes, thank you. That's true." Now, in the beginning, I did do some research, and I found nothing that I could follow or do, so I created my own systems and strategies from what I learned and studied. What I did find was an old school kind of small thinking or a mindset, and these strategies and tips were outdated. Now, I remembered when I first started sharing some of the information that I have here, thinking, who's going to want to read my e-zine Big Thinking Business Breakthroughs around bigger and better thinking? Well, boy, was I in for a surprise. I have people around the planet reading and subscribing to my e-zine and blog posts as well around this topic. So I decided to teach them about this unrelenting hidden conflict and help them as small business owners with their bigger and better thinking, while at the same time helping them make more money and have more time off with an improved lifestyle. So one of the unrelenting hidden conflicts to big success for entrepreneurs is a fear of rejection, whether it's connecting online or offline for that matter. So for instance, it appears to be quite frequent with the expanded use of Facebook right now. And sometimes this fear is fairly conscious. You know that you're stalling asking for the business or sales because you're afraid that your potential clients will just flatly say no to you. I can't even begin to tell you how big this was for so many entrepreneurs with tremendous gifts and talents. Other times the fear is hidden in your subconscious, making this huge impact that sometimes you're not even conscious of. Now, some of you may find yourself procrastinating about making a phone call or setting up a sales appointment with someone that you connected with on Facebook. And you blame it on laziness, or you just don't have the time. Or you may avoid following up because you don't want to be pestering people. You feel like it might be pushy to ask them to openly buy your products or services. Now, I have a new member who came into my program, Enlightened Millionaire Society, mastermind group, who spent months building her following on Facebook. And she has a very specific target market, but she never did anything with the list. She never engaged with them, and she certainly was unable to monetize her time online and left a ton of money on the table. She was never leveraged by doing just a little bit of work and working on her skills and her beliefs, or in her case both, and improving her bottom line that can keep that money coming to you for a very long time. So today, using the same strategies that I use in my business, as well as those that I mentor and guide, that same mentor or that same person that I mentioned earlier on has a solid following on Facebook who buys everything that she offers in her practice. So I guided her to triple her no's and double her success in her business. And I provided her with a step-by-step roadmap of how to make it work and have it be repeatable in her business again and again. Now, if you want to check out the strong following and engagement I have with my own followers and how well it's working for me, go to facebook.com/Beverly.Boston. And you're going to see that I've created a solid established rapport, engagement, and connection with my audience, as well as being able to monetize my time, and I have a large amount of new clients coming from Facebook. So some of you may think, well, you know what, it's just easier to spend time chatting back and forth on Facebook or just hiding out behind your computer and buying some Facebook ads than it does to have a one-on-one connection or a sales conversation with a potential client who's showing some interest in your products and services. After all, isn't that what client attraction is all about? Don't they just come to you? Well, there can be a subtle resistance to directly speaking with your potential clients. It can show that you're consciously or unconsciously steering clear of situations where you might be told no to your face. Sometimes you can be a little bit nervous when asking for the business. The possibility of being rejected may come up around some old baggage that you've had maybe for a long time, and it's still haunting you today. You might not even be aware of those long-forgotten memories of rejection, but they're being triggered in you right now. And you just start to see how hard it is to make those calls or doing lead follow-up, and you don't follow through. So do a little homework and find where and what is triggering you right now in your business. Sit down and make a list of where this is showing up in your business. The beginning step is finding where and how it's costing you right now so you can start to remedy it immediately. List where you need to build your courage and confidence and the kahunas to step out more boldly in your business and online, of course. To be seen and heard while making a great living and having plenty of time off. Now here's a big lesson that I learned way back when I started my business 11 years ago and started taking my business online. Once you learn this about whether you're online or off in business, it becomes much easier for you to start to monetize your time and energy. So if you ignore your fear of rejection, it's eventually going to catch up with you. It's going to stop you in your tracks from making offline connections that you need to make. So have you left any money and opportunities on the table? And is it less effective than you might think using client attraction the way that you're working right now? What I want you to know, the rejection is not about you. When a potential client from Facebook decides not to do business with you, it's simply a business transaction. Your potential client is deciding whether or not to spend their money on purchasing a service. Their choice has nothing at all to do with your worth as a person or an entrepreneur for that matter. So the number one thing to consider is, do you take it personally when they say, you know what, you're too expensive? Well, they're just simply saying that they're choosing to spend that money on something else. Or they may have changed their mind because it was out of their price range. The second thing to consider is, remind yourself it's okay that they found someone else. They might have found someone else more qualified, which just simply means someone who has more experience than you do. Or they may say to you, you know what, maybe later, or let me think about it, or I'm not ready. Yes, I know it's disappointing to lose a potential client or sale. But the actual drawback is when you let the possibility of frustration stop you from getting other clients and sales. So the next time a potential client tells you that they don't want to work with you right now, or they choose to work with someone else, don't allow to have that response stop you and take it personally. Potential clients who say they're not ready are just saying that they're not ready. So choose to hear a no to your service or products as for what it really is, which is a business decision made on a present set of circumstances that exist for them right now. It's about their time, money, requirements, choices, and priorities. It's really not about you. Now, of course, this podcast show covers you offering a service or program that's of high quality and of high value. It's a whole other show around whether or not your product or services are overpriced or you're unable to have a sales conversation. Remember that when you're attracting ideal clients, you will have less of these types of situations take place in your business. Now, this is just the beginning. If you'd like to see how these big thinking tips, strategies, and how to stop leaving money on the table in your business, check out my e-zine at beverlyboston.com to get you started on the fast track to success. And while you're there, you can see the amazing people from all over the globe and success stories of people who've put these tips into place in their business. Thank you for joining me on these series of podcast shows. Now, for all of you who like this information, I would like to invite you to check out my Big Thinking Essential Starter Kit. This introduces the next generation of big thinking in your business now and for the future. It's comprehensive and it's yours free just for saying yes to being ready to think bigger and bolder in your business. It's all there. A complete package jam-packed with everything that you need to know to get started right now. This is preferred by people who choose to make a difference. Isn't it time for you to get out there and start thinking bigger and bolder? This also includes a subscription to my coveted Next Generation Big Thinker e-zine. You can go and learn more about it at beverlyboston.com. That's beverlyboston.com. See you there.